Hey everyone, welcome back to Yash Talks Cinema, where we explore the most intense, emotional, and heart-gripping films that take you on a journey far beyond the screen. Today's spotlight is on 12 Feet Deep, a 2017 psychological thriller that proves horror doesn't need ghosts, monsters, or huge effects to chill you to the bone. Sometimes all it takes is two people, a locked pool cover, and a fight to survive. Right from the first frame, 12 Feet Deep pulls you into a situation that's terrifyingly realistic. The story follows two sisters, Bree and Jonna, who find themselves accidentally trapped at the bottom of a public swimming pool after hours. What starts as a simple swim quickly becomes a desperate struggle for life when the pool's high-tech cover seals shut, leaving them trapped 12 feet below the surface with no one around to help. The setup is deceptively simple, but the film transforms it into something deeply emotional and unnervingly tense. Bree and Jonna are not just struggling against the suffocating water above them, they're battling fear, exhaustion, guilt, and buried resentment that have built up between them for years. The pool becomes a pressure cooker, both literally and emotionally. The movie does something really clever here. It uses a confined setting to dig deep into the human mind. Every creak of the metal cover, every bubble that escapes the surface, every second of silence feels like a countdown. You can almost feel the weight of the water pressing against your own chest as time passes. It's claustrophobic, raw, and yet incredibly emotional. Bree, played by Nora Jane Noon, is the responsible, composed older sister, someone who's used to keeping everything under control. She's engaged, successful, and seems to have moved on from her troubled past. On the other hand, Jonna, portrayed by Alexandra Park, carries the scars of addiction, regret, and feelings of inferiority. She's fiery, impulsive, and still trying to rebuild her life. When they find themselves trapped, the film forces these two very different women to confront their inner demons and the unresolved tension between them. What makes 12 Feet Deep so powerful is how it merges psychological tension with survival horror. You don't just watch them fight to stay alive, you feel their desperation, their pain, and their determination. The pool itself almost becomes a character, silent, cold, and merciless. It reflects their fear, their regrets, and even their connection. The camera work makes brilliant use of the limited space. The underwater shots are eerie yet intimate, showing how isolation magnifies every emotion. When they try to scream, the sound muffles under the surface, turning every cry for help into silence. And that silence becomes deafening. It's just two sisters trapped in terror-hide, but through that simplicity, the film finds depth. You see their humanity unfold in real time, their arguments, their regrets, their moments of hope and despair. There's one particular scene where they share a memory from childhood, and for a brief moment, the pool doesn't feel like a prison anymore. It feels like a shared space of forgiveness. Moments like that elevate the story from just survival to something profoundly emotional. The tension builds slowly but relentlessly. The longer they're stuck, the more hopeless it feels. Their oxygen levels drop, their bodies weaken, and panic starts to take over. The fear of drowning is instinctive. It's primal, and the movie uses that fear without ever resorting to cheap tricks or jump scares. You're right there with them, feeling every second of their agony and uncertainty. One of the film's most intriguing dynamics comes from the janitor, Clara, played by Diane Farr, who discovers the sisters trapped but doesn't immediately help. Her presence introduces another layer of moral tension. She's not a villain in the traditional sense, but she represents the unpredictable nature of human decisions under pressure. Through her, the movie explores themes of guilt, redemption, and compassion. You start to question, what would you do if you were in her position? And that's what's so impressive about 12 Feet Deep. It never gives easy answers. Instead, it confronts you with uncomfortable questions about morality, survival, and what fear does to people. It's not about heroes or villains. It's about human choices in impossible situations. As time runs out, the sisters begin to break physically and emotionally. The walls of the pool, bright and harmless at first, start to feel suffocating. Every breath becomes heavier. Every attempt to escape feels futile. And yet, amid the panic, there's this quiet strength that emerges beneath the fear. You can feel their bond as sisters slowly being repaired. The dialogue between Bree and Jonna is where the movie really shines. It's raw and honest. They accuse, forgive, cry, and hold on to each other in the face of death. What's beautiful is that the film doesn't need big action scenes or elaborate effects. It relies purely on the performances and emotional truth of the characters. Nora Jane Noon and Alexandra Park deliver deeply convincing portrayals that carry the entire film. Their chemistry feels authentic and their pain feels real. The pacing of 12 Feet Deep is deliberate, not too fast, not too slow, just enough to make you feel the weight of every passing minute. It's like watching a psychological ticking clock. The score adds to the tension without overpowering it. Subtle atmospheric music that mirrors their mental states. Calm one moment. Beyond the survival aspect, the film also touches on deeper ideas, the importance of forgiveness, the consequences of holding on to anger, and the way trauma can shape who we become. The pool becomes a metaphor for the emotional traps we all carry, those moments in life where you feel stuck, unable to breathe, and searching for a way out. You'll find yourself holding your breath as the story reaches its emotional peaks. Each time one of them tries to reach the surface, your heart races. The fear of the water, the confined space, and the ticking time create a sense of panic that's both terrifying and oddly beautiful. The direction by Matt Eskandari deserves a lot of credit here. He manages to turn such a minimal setting into something cinematic, emotional, and full of suspense. The brilliance of 12 Feet Deep lies in its simplicity. It's not a blockbuster. It doesn't rely on big explosions or loud scares. Instead, it relies on realism, on a situation that could happen to anyone, and that's what makes it so haunting. It reminds you how quickly an ordinary day can turn into a nightmare, how thin the line is between safety and danger, between control and chaos. As the film unfolds, you realize that it's not just about escaping a physical trap, it's about escaping emotional prisons too. Both sisters are forced to confront the lies they've told themselves, the pain they've hidden, and the love they've forgotten. And that's what makes the ending, without spoiling it, feel earned and powerful. What's so moving about 12 Feet Deep is that even though it's a story about fear and survival, it's ultimately about forgiveness and strength. It's about how even when we're trapped, whether by water, by guilt, or by our past, there's always a part of us that fights to surface again. If you pay attention to the small details, you'll notice how carefully crafted the symbolism is. The pool's transparency, something meant to be clear and open, becomes suffocating. The water, which usually represents calmness and freedom, becomes the very thing that imprisons them. It's a haunting reversal of what we associate with safety and escape. Every inch of this film is designed to make you feel what the characters are feeling, the panic, the exhaustion, the hope, and the despair. But what stays with you long after it ends isn't just the fear of drowning. It's the realization that strength often comes from the most unexpected places. And that's the beauty of 12 Feet Deep. Beneath the surface, it's not just a survival story. It's a story about connection, redemption, and the resilience of the human spirit. It's proof that even in moments of complete darkness, people can find light. And even when trapped beneath something impossible, we can still rise. So if you're looking for a film that will make your heart race, make you reflect on the relationships you hold dear, 12 Feet Deep is absolutely worth watching. It's an emotional thriller that doesn't just keep you guessing. It makes you feel every moment. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like, share it with your fellow movie lovers, and subscribe to Yash Talks Cinema for more cinematic deep dives into powerful stories from around the world. Stay tuned, because the next movie might just take your breath away. Literally. And as always, discover movies, relive emotions.